good evening.
Nope,
To,
no.
oh, and now we are. So, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to wherever you may be watching, or whenever you may be watching this, because this is live right now at the time, asterisk. But you might be watching a replay of this a little bit later. We thought we'd get a little 5 minutes in as we're prepping, getting everything rolling for a short program today. It's exciting. I'll talk more about it later. Otherwise, you'll be hearing from me twice. But I thought, hey, while we're here, let's talk about our Soul Pancake question. So first off, thank you, Soul Pancake, for giving us permission to jump in your book and do some tests and exercises and questions here. So the question yesterday, because there's always time to build a fort, list 5 things you can learn from a 5-year-old. So what things have you thought of that you can learn from a 5-year-old? We did do a bonus dig deeper question that wasn't in Soul Pancake, but Soul Pancake's good for asking those extra questions of they're good for sorry, I'm getting direction. They're good for asking questions that dig deeper, like how do you implement that? So for me, thinking through things I can learn from a 5-year-old, we're talking about it actually even with my 11-year-old this morning, and one of them is a hug can never be too long. That's my first thing to learn from a 5-year-old. I remember my kids at that age would not let go of a hug. It was almost, you had to pull them away at times, unless they were grumpy. But even then, a hug can never be too long. Another thing, which is an aspect of life I love anyway, is that it's as much about the journey as it is the destination. That's definitely something I learned from a 5-year-old. Really, all children, particularly 5-year-olds. I remember even if we knew we were going somewhere that was very exciting to our kids and they wanted to get there, it didn't mean we got there any faster because they couldn't help but enjoy everything from a flower to a shadow to a cat that we passed on the way there. And that's really happiness, right? Happiness is not the destination, it's the journey. Hopefully, because the journey is part of your purpose. So we need to be happy on our journey for our purpose. So that's the question from Soul Pancake yesterday at the end of the day. The parting thoughts, of course, for those who've seen the Baha'i Knowledge Network, it looks like the bacon. So I thought, what goes better with the bacon than the Soul Pancake? So that was our question. I'd love to see if we have any comments. No, we have not an answer yet. We have Kevin in there, some people in the chat. What are things you can learn from a 5-year-old? You don't need to jump in there and also type a long sentence about how you'd implement it. Just what are some things we can learn from 5-year-olds? Another one, it's okay to get dirty. And you don't always have to clean off right away. That's a kid thing. And if it falls on the floor, 5-second rule, not necessary. Let's eat off the floor. I've seen that from my kids too. They used to actually put their food on the floor and eat it off the floor. But I'm digressing to personal stuff. But we're still here ahead of time because this is day 2 of verse 1. And we're doing all 12 days, sharing some stuff. And so I've got a few books I do every day for my daily readings. And this is one of them. This one has 2. One for morning and one for evening, but I like to read both in the morning.
I'm going to let you know that you're coming up on 10 o'clock when we're going to start.
Oh, coming up on 10 o'clock. Do I have time to read one reading? Probably not. One? It's not a short one.
Sure.
Oh, she's giving me the okay. So let's read this together. This one is really awesome. I love it.
I got a comment from someone who is talking about
what
you can learn from a 5-year-old.
The importance of sleep and rest. Yes, even our 11-year-old taught us that one again today. He's having a little bit of a hard time being at home. That's a great answer. Thank you. The importance of sleep and rest is certainly something we can learn from a 5-year-old. Keep them coming. Let's even talk about this through the day. The chat is here for us to dialogue with. And even after we're not on here, on the social media, we can keep the dialogue going even on Twitter or on Instagram or on the Facebook event page for a global celebration. Is what are things we can learn from a 5-year-old?
Oh, and now you just talked through your reading time.
I just used my reading time. We'll get to this later because this is, it's. Okay, spoiler. I'm going to give you the last sentence. Thus mayest thou become a sign and symbol of God's love and a banner of his grace. So what comes before that? We'll read that a little bit later. Oh, I've got a child coming in.
We're not able to hear you upstairs. There's no audio coming through.
Okay, that's something because other people are hearing us. So I'll come up and help you. Just click it might unmute.
5-year-olds, grandchildren teach you to be silly again.
It's
Oh, Akini, you're from Mozambique. Welcome, Mozambique. This is, you know what? Actually, I'm going to mention this one after. I know we're going to get started on the program, but then I am going to throw a little thank you to those who are globally around us. So
It's just our slideshow again, but just to get people warmed in.
To get everyone ready, we're going to create chapter markers. So when people are watching this, you can jump to your favorite parts of the program when you want to rewatch them later. So this is where the chapter is going to happen right about now for the start of day 2. All right. So, welcome to day 2 of our Ridvan Global Celebration. Thank you for being here. And thank you to everyone who showed up yesterday. I have a little things I want to make sure I get through this morning. The question has come up. We've had some, and thank you for all the emails that came through yesterday and the messages, the comments in the chats. We appreciate you being here. You're in our living room, and we really feel like we're in yours, and we're definitely feeling the unity. Some people asked about the team that's behind the Baha'i Knowledge Network, and that's the team photo. So there we are. Took that this morning. There she is. There's Sarah back there. But that's it. We're the behind the scenes. This is the team. However, certainly taking a lot more people. Thank you to everyone who's been part of this program, who's part of our readers yesterday, to our musicians throughout the week, to the people who are hosting some of the craft projects. You'll see from Nura today. What she's doing it for her origami craft, to people who are sending in stuff, the concerts that are coming in for this week. It's fantastic. We appreciate and love all of you for just being part of this giant connection. A bit about yesterday. So we had some internet problems, which we got through, but then Sarah's computer crashed. Things we can't control, right? Which we actually read that reading quite a few times from Abdul Baha about still finding joy and happiness in hardship. Not that was that hard. We've got a roof, we have internet, we had a computer crash. However, the replay is up with everything stitched together as if it never happened. So we can, that's what we do with history, right? It's those who tell it. So I'm telling you that the broadcast yesterday went perfectly according to the replay. So enjoy that ongoing. I know, especially because of course it cut out in my favorite Eric Harper song, which I was talking about with my son, Shine. So you can check that out there. We'll also be posting some segments of this to our page. So those who want to go back and find just the craft, you want to take your time to make the tree like Sarah was doing, which is going to be the basis for the whole rest of our window gardens. That'll be on there. But also in the replay, we've added chapter markers. So if you just want to jump ahead to the craft, or jump ahead to the story of the Festival of Ridvan, or jump to Eric Harper's awesome concert and sing along with him, it's all right there for you to be able to do. So thank you for the love around the world. Thank you for the messages of joy. Thank you to everyone who's been sharing this with their community. We feel so awesomely connected. So today's program, originally Sarah wrote C program, and I thought that meant you guys got to see it, but it meant I get to see it.
Slow down a little bit. You're talking real fast again.
Sorry. Fast me. She catches me on that. I get excited, probably a little bit nervous. This is all a little new, being live. So today's program is, beside the chat, you'll see the program for today. Today we have the What is Ridvan? We just showed that. And then, oh, that's the next one. Oh, that's the slideshow. See, must be a Tuesday. That's actually something we say even on Fridays. So Sarah's going to play the What is Ridvan video. We have a book being read. What's the story from the book? Stranger in the Mountains. It's this book. Thank you so much to Baha'i Publishing Trust for giving us permission to share this stories from this book. We appreciate you so much. After that short story, will be taught Origami Hearts, followed by a rockin' concert by Bahiyyih Peters. And then I'll send you off with some soul food send-off with a little bit of another soul pancake thought, and that's our day today. So without further ado, we're going to jump to the next part of the program, and we're going to share with you the video about what is Ridvan and a story, Stranger in the Mountains, read by Oliver Smith.
Ridvan is a 12-day festival celebrated by Baha'is around the world to commemorate Baha'u'llah revealing his station to his companions, that he was the one whom God would make manifest, the promised one of all religions. Ridvan is celebrated annually beginning on the 32nd day of the Baha'i year, which falls on the 20th or 21st of April. The 1st, 9th, and 12th days of Ridvan are celebrated as holy days where work is suspended.
Stranger in the Mountains, written by Dwayne L. Herman, illustrated by Jackie Arind. I'm sorry, dearly sorry if I got that wrong. The boy was sitting on the hillside, crying bitterly. He could see the mountain village that was below that was his home. He wanted to go home but was afraid. He had been punished at school and be punished again at home. So instead he ran to the hillside and cried. A stranger who did not live in the village heard his crying, came closer. The stranger asked the boy why he was crying. The boy looked up. There, coming towards him, was a dervish, a man without a home who spent his days wandering the countryside, praying and thinking about God. The boy answered, "Oh, sir, my teacher has punished me for writing so badly. I can't write nicely, and now I've lost my lesson he gave to me to copy. I can't go back to school without it, or else I'll be punished even more, and I can't go home, for my parents will be ashamed." Then the boy began to cry some more. The stranger gently asked him to stop crying. He then offered to write a lesson and teach the boy to copy it so that his teacher would be proud of him. From his clothes, the stranger took out a pen and paper and wrote beautiful letters. Then he showed the boy how to copy them. The boy copied the writing again and again. After time, he could do it so well that you could hardly tell the difference between one's writing and the other. The stranger told the boy to take his writing lesson and show the teacher that now he could write very well. With a happy heart, the boy jumped up and went running down the hillside to his village and his teacher. "Thank you, kind sir," he yelled back with a smile full of joy. Breathlessly, the boy arrived at his school, where his teacher sternly awaited him. The teacher was like, "Where have you been? And is your lesson ready?" "Oh, yes," answered the boy proudly. Here's the work I've done." The boy proudly showed the teacher the writing of the stranger and his copying underneath. The teacher was astonished. "Where did you find this writing? It is beautiful. Do you know who the kind of people who write this way?" "No, sir. A strange dervish saw me in the hillside and wrote it for me." "Your dervish is no dervish at all," replied the teacher. "Only people connected to the royal family and ministers of the king write in this manner." The teacher wondered why a member of the royal court would be wandering the mountains as a dervish. The teacher told his friends about the stranger in the mountains and the writing of the boy. His friends told their friends, and then they told their friends. Soon everyone in the village knew that this strange and wonderful person in the mountains, but no one knew who he was. Eventually, news of the wonderful stranger reached Baghdad and the family of Baha'u'llah. Baha'u'llah had been missing for nearly 2 years. His family immediately wondered if this dervish might in fact be Baha'u'llah. Al-Baha sent a messenger to find this dervish, and, if he was Baha'u'llah, to ask him to come back. The dervish was Baha'u'llah, and he did return back, but he needed time to pray by himself to prepare for the teachings, the new message of God. Thank you.
Thank you for that story. Thank you, Oliver, for reading that story, and thank you again to Baha'i Publishing Trust for letting us read. This is an awesome book. We actually love reading from this one. This is volume 2. There's also volume 1 and 3. I'll try to remember to put a link up there. You can also find it just through their website.
There is a link. Thank you section.
Sarah said in the thank you section, there is a direct link to go find that. It's also a series of 3 on the bob. There's awesome. So next up, let's get some square pieces of paper. Yes, actually, I'm not listening. I don't need these on. So square pieces of paper, because origami, almost all origami is based on having square pieces of paper. So we're going to have our friend Nura guide us through how to make origami hearts, which you can add to your windows or add to your window garden if you started Sarah yesterday, putting up the branches to make the window garden tree. If you haven't found that, that'll be in the archives of yesterday's replay. When Sarah's doing the craft, she shows you how to make these big, beautiful branches across your window that she added cherry blossoms to. And now we're going to start adding, in the coming weeks, we'll have more animals to add to that, but we're going to start with a heart. So let's grab your piece of paper. Let's get ready to watch Nura show us how to make an origami heart. Thank you, Nura.
My name is Nora, and today we'll be making origami hearts with origami paper. But if you don't have origami paper, you can always use regular paper and just cut it into an even square. Let's get started. First, we are going to fold it into a triangle, like so. And then you are going to take it out of the triangle and make it straight so you can still see the line. Then you're going to fold one of the sides to the middle line, and you're going to fold the other side all the way to the end of where you folded the last little triangle. Then you're going to fold it in a weird shape like so. So you have like that kind of shape. Then you're going to take it out of the shape like that. Then you're going to fold these. Then you're going to fold these pieces up like that, so that you have like a cat-like shape, like so. And then you don't want a cat, you want a heart. So let's fold the top pieces and the sides, and we'll do that on the other side too. so that you have a nice heart. Now, this is optional, but I will paste it on a piece of construction paper, but you don't have to if you don't want to. And if you don't have construction paper, you can just use any type of paper. Thank you for watching and happy Ridvan.
Awesome. Well, this is my first time doing it. There's my heart. What does yours look like? So also what we love to do is take a picture of some of the art things we're doing, the origami, the crafts that are coming up later this week, and post it to the event page, post on social media, tag, hashtag Global Ridvan Celebration, and let's share what we're making with each other. Now, that was the first time. Sometimes the first time we make some mistakes. Mine didn't turn out that bad. I think for those who are watching the replay, you can always jump back. But for those who are live, let's watch the video one more time. Sure enough to watch, and let's follow along. So if you got a second piece of paper to practice, and use a different color today for myself. Let's show Nura's video one more time on how to make a heart, and then we'll get to the concert.
My name is Nura, and today we'll be making origami hearts with origami paper. But if you don't have origami paper, you can always use regular paper and just cut it into an even square. Let's get started. First, we are going to fold it into a triangle, like so. And then you are going to take it out of the triangle and make it straight so you can still see the line. Then you're going to fold one of the sides to the middle line, and you're going to fold the other side all the way to the end of where you folded the last little triangle. Then you're going to fold it in a weird shape like so. So you have like that kind of shape. And you're going to take it out of the shape like that. Then you're going to fold these. Then you're going to fold these pieces up like that, so that you have like a cat-like shape, like so. And then you don't want a cat, you want a heart. So let's fold the top pieces and the sides, and we'll do that on the other side too, so that you have a nice heart. Now, this is optional, but I will paste it on a piece of construction paper, but you don't have to if you don't want to. And if you don't have construction paper, you can just use any type of paper. Thank you for watching and happy Ridvan.
That was awesome. Happy Ridvan, Nura. So my second one didn't go quite as well. I definitely like my first one. I think I used too small a piece of paper. I'm going to stick with this one. But later, we'll put these on the trees. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? Because I have myself planned out a bunch of paper, is that while Bahiyyih is doing her concert, I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm going to craft. I'm going to make a bunch of hearts to Bahiyyih's music. So I've known Bahiyyih for a long time. We just call her B. But although I know her, I want to read to you a little blurb about who she is and where she comes from, so we can get appreciation for the music that Bahiyyih is about to do for us. So Bahiyyih Peters is a singer and songwriter from British Columbia, Canada. She writes from a place of personal truth, speaking to social issues as well as her own struggles and triumphs. She earned her bachelor's degree in sociology and her music diploma in vocal jazz. She has done countless performances, both solo and with groups of various genres. Her recordings include collaborations as well as her 2010 solo album, Take Me Home. Besides music, she enjoys dancing, cooking, hiking in the woods, and meaningful conversations. She lives in Vancouver area with her husband and her 2 children, and they are awesome too. I know them. So without further ado, let's enjoy some beautiful music from Bahiyyih Peters.
Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Bahiyyih and I live in Canada on the West Coast. I love to write music and share it with others, so I'm really grateful for the opportunity to do that today as we celebrate the Festival of Ridvan globally. which thou wast created. O Son of Spirit, noble, noble, have I created thee. Why dost thou abase thyself? Rise then unto that for which thou wast created. Rise then unto that for which thou wast created. The next piece I'd like to share is a prayer that was written by Baha'u'llah. Pardon me, a prayer that was written by Bahiyyih Khanum, who was the daughter of Baha'u'llah. This prayer always reminds me of both the struggles that we have in the world and also the opportunities for joy. O kind Lord, send down thy mercy and thy grace, bestow upon us patience, give us the strength to endure, O kind Lord. Send down thy mercy and thy grace, bestow upon us patience, give us the strength to endure, O kind Lord. Wed thou our souls to joy. Wed thou our souls to joy, O kind Lord. Send down thy mercy and thy grace, bestow upon us patience, give us the strength to endure, O kind Lord. Wed thou our souls to joy. Wed thou our souls to joy, O kind Lord, O kind Lord, O kind Lord. Love singing those words. I'm just going to take a sip of my tea. So I wrote a song about Baha'u'llah, and the very last words are his words, which I suppose we can always do to hear, but particularly now when the state of the world is so united in a common struggle. I think these words ring particularly true. So powerful is the light of unity that it can illuminate the whole earth. Also, for those who like to harmonize or just sing along, please feel free to. The chorus repeats itself, and so please join in. Feel it on my face, the breeze of eternity. I feel it in my heart, the swell of love. My sandaled feet displace the stones along the path to his blessed home. To remember, to remember such a life is like trying to count the stars. To remember, yeah. We remember 200 years. We remember joy and tears. Sweet is the fragrance in the air. Sweet is the call, lay my soul bare. To remember, let's hear it. To remember such a life is like trying to count the stars. To remember, whenever there's a rhythm in your heart, it goes rum da da dum da 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 da. Whenever there's a rhythm in your heart, that is God, that is God. To remember, to remember such a life is like trying to count the stars. To remember, to remember, to remember. So powerful is the light of unity. So powerful is the light of unity that it can illuminate the whole earth. Thanks to those who sang along. Right. So I know some people may be watching this in different countries. Maybe you speak other languages. Maybe you don't understand what I'm saying. But thankfully, music is a universal language. This next piece is a Baha'i prayer by Baha, but I'm going to sing it in Spanish because I love Spanish. And I learned a little bit of it, enough to sing some prayers. Oh Dios, refresca y alegra mi espíritu, purifica mi corazón, ilumina mis poderes, a ti me consagro, oh Señor, oh Señor. Oh Dios, refresca y alegra mi espíritu, purificar mi corazón, ilumina mis poderes, a ti me consagro, oh Señor, oh Señor, a ti me consagro, oh Señor, oh Señor, oh Señor, oh Señor, oh Señor, oh Señor. Awesome. So I find the hidden words of Baha'u'llah to be very mystical and beautiful, and so many of them are about love. The people who came to see Baha'u'llah in the Ridvan garden were filled with love for him, and it was a bittersweet time. And this hidden word reminds me of that desire to be close to our beloved. So this is one of Baha'u'llah's hidden words. Whither can a lover go but to the land of his beloved? And what seeker findeth rest away from his heart's desire? Separation is death. His breast is void of patience, and his heart it has a myriad lives he would forsake to hasten to the abode of his beloved. Whither can a lover go but to the land of his beloved? And what seeker findeth rest away from his heart's desire? To the true lover, reunion is life, and separation is death. His breast is void of patience, and his heart it hath no peace. A myriad lives he would forsake, a myriad lives he would forsake, a myriad lives he would forsake to hasten to the abode of his beloved. Whither can a lover go? Whither can a lover go? Whither can a lover go? Yeah. Shake it out. Hope everyone is doing well. I know these times can be stressful, and one thing I think about is children, my own and others, and how they're going to grow up in this world and all the amazing things they're going to do and some of the tests that they will have to face. And I really love this prayer by Abdu'l-Baha written for little girls, and so I put it to music, and I'd like to share it with you. O thou most glorious Lord, make this little maidservant of thine blessed and happy. Cause her to be cherished at the threshold of thy oneness, and let her drink deep from the cup of thy love, so that she may be filled with rapture and ecstasy, and diffuse sweet scented fragrance. Thou art the mighty and the powerful, and thou art the all-knowing, the all-seeing Abdu'l-Baha. O thou most glorious Lord, make this little maidservant of thine blessed and happy. Cause her to be cherished at the threshold of thy oneness, and let her drink deep from the cup of thy love, the cup of thy love, so that she may be filled with rapture and ecstasy, and diffuse my dining room with the sun shining and the windows closed so you don't hear the traffic. So on the topic of women, we know that women and men are equal, but sometimes that's not the case in our world, in practice, in belief. And I wrote this about the frustration I feel as a woman and as a human for the lack of equality in all areas of life. And the song ends with Baha'u'llah's words. No, it doesn't. I'm thinking of a different song. But it does use a Baha'i concept of the bird, the wings of humanity. And if one is man and the other is woman, if one isn't equal, we can't progress and we can't move forward. So that was my inspiration for this song. So here it is. Here is something that is true. When you violate me, you also hurt you. Times have changed, so we are told, but I don't feel free. My wings are folded, folded. What if I could fly so high, so high? That would mean that you could fly too. What if I could fly so high, so high? Why don't we just try it, me and you? Another headline, more hate. We are caught in a battle with half the human race. I wanna cry for every woman and every man too. Hate plus hate equals hate. The only equation that ends in love is love. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. What if I could fly so high, so high? That would mean that you could fly too. What if I could fly so high, so high? Why don't we just try it, me and you? I wanna cry for every woman. I wanna cry for every woman. I wanna cry for every woman. Thank you so much for being here and sharing this space with me. I know when I'm feeling challenged in life, I often write about it. I write it in my journal or I turn it into a song. And then what brings it full circle for me is to share it with others in the hopes that it might bring them some comfort or some ease. And so I hope today brought you something that you needed. I really believe in the power of music, which sounds like a very generic thing to say, but as we've all experienced all the outpouring of music and creativity during this time, it really is true. For those who create it, for those who hear it, for everyone. I wanted to end with a song that I wrote when I was feeling a bit hopeless and needed some encouragement for myself, and it came out sounding a bit like a lullaby, so it's very soothing for me, and I hope it is whatever it needs to be for you. And I also just want to wish everyone all over the world a wonderful day, a happy Ridvan celebration, and just health and safety to all of you as well. Letting go of the past seems to be what I really need to feel free. Moving into the light, I know there is nothing to fear. And here I go. It's gonna take courage. Hold it tight. Use as much as you can. It grows in time. And I am thankful for all the pain. And I am thankful for all the love. And I am thankful for my beautiful children. And I am thankful to God above. Good night, good night. Go to sleep, good night. Lay your head down and let it go. For tonight is over, let it go. For tonight is over, let it go. Letting go of the past, it seems to be what I really need to feel free. Moving into the light, I know there is nothing to fear. And here I go. It's gonna take courage. Hold it tight. And use as much as you can. It grows in time. And I am thankful for all the pain. And I am thankful for all the joy. And I am thankful for my beautiful children. And I am thankful for God above. Good night, good night. Go to sleep, good night. Lay your head down. go, for tonight is over. Let it go. Aloha.
Thank you, Bahiyyih. That was awesome. That was gorgeous. That was amazing. Did anyone else make some hearts? I made a bunch of hearts. And now all of them are infused with Bahiyyih's music and with love, because I was just feeling love and thinking love as I made them. And I really believe that we can put our energy into all the things around us. And so now when these all go up in my window garden, I'll both be thinking of that beautiful music, Bahiyyih, as well as just, I know there'll be all that love in the windows.
And love from all the people who were connected in that moment.
Yes, and love from all the people who are connected in that moment, who are listening to that with us. And speaking of love, I want to send some love to everyone. Thank you for the messages. Thank you for the emails. Thank you for the comments from Montana to Mozambique. You're in our living room. You're in our home. And we're in yours in some way. And that we're celebrating this together while people are isolated and contained means a lot to us. That's why we wanted to be connected at this time that is the most great festival, where usually we're all together, but we can't be. But as a result, we're bonded even further and beyond. So how amazing is that? So thank you to everyone for the message, for the support, for just being here, for listening to the music, for sharing with one another what is happening from our room to your room. I'm getting to slow down. I get excited. I get emotional. All right. So Hearts in the Garden project. So speaking of the crafts tomorrow, you're going to want to have some recycling available. We're going to upcycle a craft. So cans, bottles, if you have some paint, we're going to be making milk cartons. We're going to be upcycling bird feeders. So
birdhouses.
Oh, birdhouses, sorry. Well, hopefully they eat in their house too, but upcycling birdhouses. I clicked on something. Let's get out of there. Stay by camera.
We're still seeing you.
Oh, good.
Okay.
I clicked the button that was going to change my camera, so I didn't want to do that to you. Sorry. So that's the Earth Day craft. Speaking of tomorrow's Earth Day, tomorrow we have a video that's been shared with us by Kevin Locke, who's going to be showing us and even talking us through the prayer aspect of hoop dancing. And he's going to share some demonstration of that as well, followed by some amazing music. If you haven't heard of Roman Arona, I grabbed a picture so you can recognize him. This is Roman. This is Roman Arona. You saw my email address. I should have shared that. Oops, take that part away. Find him even on Spotify if you want to get a listen to know who you're coming to listen to. If you haven't heard his music before, he puts me to tears in a really positive, wonderful way. Not in I'm so sad. He sung for me this version of Blessed is the Spot that was unlike anything I've heard of some people singing Blessed is the Spot before. So he will be on tomorrow along with Kevin Locke as we celebrate Earth Day and the third day of Ridvan with some upcycling crafts. It's very earth feeling, connected to the earth. Also, I want to mention, this is just the end of one celebration today. There are many others to find online. If you're on Facebook and you go to the Facebook group Baha'i Online Events, there's always an update. They're letting you know. Someone's always posting there, matchless and tender, that grow in the meadows of guidance. O ye newcomers to the fraternity of truth. Although now ye be learners, the hope is that through showerings from the clouds of grace, ye will become teachers, that ye will flourish even as flowers and fragrant herbs in the garden of that knowledge, which is both of the mind and of the heart, that each one of you will grow as a tree, rich in yield, fair, fresh, and strong, heavy with sweet fruit. So ultimately, kids, this is all about you and creating a better world, and we're staying in so everyone can have a great place to live. So in this, as I send you off with something to chew on for the end of today, and I'd love to hear comments here or on the Facebook page and the event pages, your thoughts. Yesterday's, again, was about things we can learn from 5-year-olds. And we got some great comments. I liked being silly. I loved what we're talking about of that a hug can never be too long. So this one is beauty in the bland. So again, here we are on Soul Pancakes, page 60. Thank you again to them for giving us permission to share this. Beauty in the bland. To get from ordinary to extraordinary takes a little extra. And with a little extra effort, you can find beauty anywhere. Now there's a quote in here. And above all, watch with glittering eyes the whole world around you, because the greatest secrets are always hidden in the most unlikely places. Those who don't believe in magic will never find it. That's by Roald Dahl. So here, step one is pick up your camera. iPhones, cameras, however you, something that's going to take the picture.
Or even your eyeballs.
Or even your eyeballs. Create an entire day finding beauty hiding in the ordinary. And then create an extraordinary album that you can look back on. We actually did this a number of years ago on my parents' farm. It was filled with lots of stuff. It was being overtaken by some of their stuff, but we went around with the camera and took pictures from the furlough to some of the gates, just these little details, and made this beautiful coffee table book that was just all these little things that sometimes we walk right past each day because we're too busy going to get some hay or taking out the garbage, but we're surrounded, even in our homes, even as we're trapped inside, there's beauty all around you. And if you're having a hard time seeing it, if you're feeling a little isolated, stuck in there, let's go on a treasure hunt today to find those beautiful things. So thank you everyone for being here. Thank you to Baha'i Publishing Trust for the allowing of your book. Thank you Soul Pancake for your book. Thank you Bahiyyih for the beautiful music. Thank you to Nura and Oliver for the craft and for the story. We hope you have an amazing second day of Ridvan. Thank you for traveling with us through the internet to be together virtually. So although we're physically distant, we're socially close. Alawapa.